Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'll be going over how to install your site with my Amazon method template. I've got my project folder here that we made in our early tutorials, and I've got my template here, Amazon method template, which you can download in the tutorial. What I'm going to do here is unzip this, extract the files to the Amazon method template folder. And you could do that with Windows has one, but I usually have WinRAR on there, and that's what I use to unzip into its own folder. Now I've got my best hair loss products with an extra s.com at the end is what I chose, and this is my layout right now with nothing set up. This is how it's going to look after you've installed your site, and I'm going to go to my dashboard here, and you can see all the plugins that we need for now are activated. It's all in there. All the pages you will need are in there. Disclaimers. If you go to the front, we've got our required things we need to put here to comply with Amazon. And this is my settings that I use. We'll have to go in here later, and I'll have in the next tutorial what needs to be changed in here as soon as you install your site. But for now, I've got these two files after I've unzipped it, Amazon method template, and I've got a test domain here that I'm going to show you. It's a louisamyfriend.info. It's a domain I just use for testing, and I've got that opened up in my FTP program, FileZilla.com. Many of you are knowledgeable of this program to upload your stuff. So what I'm going to do here is just drag and drop these two files here to my root of my test domain. Of course, you're going to want to do this with your domain you chose for this course, and I'm going to let it upload here. It's almost done. Now once it's uploaded, I'm going to refresh my page here, and what you will see here is your two files. Of course, all you do is hit on install PHP, and as you can see, there's going to be where my package came from, my installer. And the site title is going to be Best Hair Loss Products by default. Now, you're going to want to change that to your keyword that you're using for your site, just your main keyword, and we're going to do some editing in there later on in our settings. But if this was the site I was going with, my keyword would be Louisa, my friend. Next here, we are going to put our, you can leave this, if you're using HostGator, you may have to, depending on what hosting, what your database calls for. At HostGator, which this site is on, it's a local host. You can leave that. And usually it's my username, underscore, and the database I want to make, which is going to be called louisamyfriend.com or info. And so put your username of your, this is usually what they give you for your cPanel on HostGator, and also put your cPanel username in the user field here, and your cPanel password. Now I'm going to test my connection, and as you can see, it connects fine. I have read all the warnings and notices. Make sure all this information is correct. What this is going to do is actually create a new database for you, so you don't even have to go through there, through your cPanel and add a database or set up WordPress. So this is so easy to do. It's very easy. Once you got all your settings there, if you do have an error, you can come back and it'll let you come back and try to enter the right information. That'll do no harm. Just make sure your database is not a database that's already being used. I like to name mine For HostGator, of course, there's your username first, then an underscore. Then I'd like to name my domain name minus the dot before the info or .com as my database name that's going to make. Once it's all set up, press install, and it gives you a warning. Make sure your database is correct and it's not being used, basically. And I'm going to press OK. Now, once you're there, the first thing you're going to do is take me there. You want to resave the permalinks. Take me there. And it's going to bring you to the login page. Your default login is admin and temp pass, which is TMP PASS, and I'll note that in the tutorial too. This is going to be the default password for everyone that installs this. You're going to want to change that, and we're going to do that in just a second here. So I'm going to log in, and the first thing I'm going to do is save these permalink settings. Next thing I'm going to do is go to users and my profile and change the default password to something you want. So I'm going to go ahead and change mine, and I'm going to update my profile. Now, there are two important things you need to do before we go into settings in the next tutorial video. You're going to go to Tools and Search and Replace tool, and that's under Tools, Search and Replace. Now, this needs to be done exactly how I show you. Now, let's go to the site here, open it up in a different view, and what we're going to do is replace all instances of my original site. As you can see here, it's changed this. We'll go to change the tag later on here. But in these parts, there's besthairlossproducts.com, and that's what you're going to want to remember. And I'll mark this down in the tutorial too. The first thing we're going to want to do is replace every single instance of that to your new domain. So what I'm going to do here is there's two things you're going to want to replace, and that's first lowercase my template domain, which is besthairlossproducts.com, and you're going to want to type that exactly in like that. You can copy and paste, and you're going to want to mark this fields right here where it says all search and replace. Then we're going to replace that with my domain, or your domain that you are on. Mine that I'm doing this test on is louisamyfriend.info. You're going to want to double check this and make sure it's make it all lowercase, exactly the domain that you set this up on. So make sure this domain is the domain that you have installed this on. And what I'm going to do here is press go, and it's going to replace every single instance of that domain name that is in there. So it's just gone ahead and replaced besthairlossproducts.com with louisamyfriend.info. Now we're going to scroll down here again and replace the big, because it's case sensitive, we're going to replace Best Hair Loss Products. This is exactly what you put in here with your name here, with your domain name. And for each keyword that you have in there, you want to make capital letters. And so mine's going to be louisamyfriend.info. And if your keyword, if your domain was best digital cameras, you'd make it look like that .com. Make sure it's correct here. .info, and I'm going to replace that. The last thing you want to replace, three things, I'm sorry, is you will type in the search for field best hair loss products, exactly like this. And if we look here, you'll see best hair loss products .com. Well, let's replace this. I know there's some places on here. Well, this is our last thing that we did. You can see how it replaced the best hair loss products with my new domain in there, which is going to be your domain, of course. And the last thing we're going to want to replace is everything that says best hair loss products. You will want to change and replace. Make sure you click this field to your keyword. And in my case, it's Louisa, my friend. Now, if you had best digital cameras, you'd go best digital cameras. All right. Now, if you look at this page here, you'll see best hair loss products, your source for best hair loss products. Once I do this, it should change to your source for Louisa, my friend, or your source for best digital cameras, whichever keyword that you went with, niche category keyword, Louisa, my friend. And I'm going to press go here, and it's replaced that. Let's refresh this page. And as you can see, if we go to our disclaimer here, or any of these pages that are already there, you can see that this has been changed from before. It said besthairlossproducts.com, and all this has been changed properly to exactly what it's supposed to be. Louisa, my friend.info makes no representations. Everything will be changed to be with your domain, and your site now is set up exactly like mine. There's more we have to do that we're going to customize and go through in the next tutorial video, but that's how easy it is to set up your site. It takes only a few minutes. And I will have the details of exactly what you need to do underneath this video that you need to use the search and replace with.